Lil Baby and Offset are really coming for each other's necks. Both dudes hail from Atlanta and are also signed to Quality Control Records. If this doesn't get sorted out, it could be awful for business. The word on the street is that Lil Baby and his crew jumped on Offset, but that could just be a rumor. If it was a rumor, though, why would Offset try to pay Lil Baby off to deny it? Is there actual beef? Is it all just hearsay? We're going to do our best to separate fact from fiction and get to the bottom of the story right here on Rizzle. At the beginning of March in 2021, reports started popping off that the crews of the two rappers run with were involved in a bit of a scuffle. The scuffle, according to the news that was beginning to pop off, left Offset in his underwear after Lil Baby's gang took everything he had on him. Lil Baby decided it was in his best interest to shut all the talk down, so he took to Instagram to make a statement. He posted on March 6th saying, "That's capo. Stop spreading fake news. That shit fake. Please." What makes matters stranger is that the two aren't just label mates. They worked on whole tracks together on songs like Hook Up. During an interview with Lil Baby on The Breakfast Club, he talked a little bit about what his relationship was with Migos and how it had been in the past.
And me and the Migos really don't be making music. They be gone, I be gone. Like, then we really don't be sending each other shit. Like, me and Quavo was around each other the other day. We made a song, but with somebody else, so I ain't put that on my album. Then they my mans and then we on the same label, but we don't really be making music together like that. Like, they be in their vibe, I be in my vibe.
Now, there's something else here. Lil Baby is out in these streets, okay? Migos can't really make that same claim. Lil Baby grew up pretty much at the center of Atlanta, meaning that he has real street cred. No one really questions whether or not Lil Baby is about that life. On the other hand, Migos grew up north of the city in Gwinnett, not really getting involved with any of the gang life that people can easily fall into there. Migos talk a lot of game about those kinds of things, but in practice, there's no real info to support the idea that they were actually out in the streets. For a while, it was assumed that there wasn't any footage to substantiate the claims of an actual fight between the crews, but that's changed. There's an actual video of the fight. While it's pretty difficult to see what's going on, a few things are clear. Offset didn't show up in the video, but you can hear members of the crew in the video saying, "What's up, Off?" After that, the camera gets shaky. There's some shouting and a pair of what looks like shoes are thrown up into the air. Afterwards, Lil Baby can be heard saying, "It's rough to actually figure out what's cap and what's not. From what we can tell, there isn't really an easy motive to pin down." Some people say that maybe the reason this went down is that there's a little bit of internal jealousy in the label. It's been said that the owner of Quality Control, Pierre Thomas, has been prioritizing Lil Baby's releases and him as an artist in general. Thomas thinks that Lil Baby has more potential in the future, since he's much younger than Migos. And maybe Pierre isn't wrong. I mean, we're not saying that Migos are washed up, but, after the release of Culture 2 and the lackluster reviews, they all split up and decided they were going to work on their own things, solo projects, Taking that hiatus might not have been in their best interest, though, because when Culture 3 dropped, it debuted at number 2. It for sure made some decent sales figures, but every other major album they dropped debuted at number 1, and they pretty much held command over the charts for at least 5 years during the 2010s, making them some of the biggest rappers in the game. And when Lil Baby hit the rap industry, he came in like a hurricane and tore the charts up. He released his first big album in 2018 called Harder Than Ever. While the Migos were put on in Atlanta by Gucci Mane, Lil Baby had always been close with Young Thug, who helped secure a record label for the rising star. Thank God he did, because his music spread like wildfire, and Lil Baby quickly proved that he was going to be one of the biggest rap acts of the new decade. This is what makes the whole situation so bad. We can't sit around and act like Pierre isn't doing what's best for business. I mean, he's just being smart by giving the people what they want and supporting the acts who are going to make him more money. If Migos want to be salty about that, that's on them. It's still not right for Lil Baby's crew to run up on Migos like that, though. If the motive really is that the beef started after Quality Control started favoring Lil Baby over Migos, they're having enough taken from him as it is. After the event, Offset unfollowed Lil Baby on Instagram, in addition to deleting any posts he's made that promote Lil Baby. Even though, at least as far as the video evidence goes, Lil Baby meant no disrespect, and it sounds more like his crew just got a little bit out of control. An alternate theory says that, according to an insider, Offset supposedly owed someone $50,000 from a dice game. It's said that Lil Baby's crew came to collect that night, stole all the man's clothes, jewelry, cash, and anything else they could get their hands on. Adding to the trouble on social media was an interview that Migos did with Peter Rosenberg. After they'd been pretty talkative for the entire interview, but when Rosenberg popped a question about Lil Baby, specifically if they were proud of him for making it so big, their responses were a bit weird. He spends at least 30 seconds prefacing the question by talking about all of Lil Baby's achievements. When he finally asks if they're happy to see Lil Baby popping off in such a big way, they all pause for like 10 seconds before Quavo says,
"For sure."
It's pretty clear that they don't really care, so much so that Peter asks them if they even listen to his 2020 album, My Turn, which Quavo just replies,
Yeah.
Now, judging by their one-word answers and their pretty bland reactions, it's safe to say that Migos are not really a fan of Lil Baby. Perhaps it really is because the label is prioritizing him over them. After this, before the release of Culture 3, the Migos performed before the Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight, and Lil Baby really had something to say about the performance. In a now-deleted Instagram post, Lil Baby said, "Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening," followed by a bunch of laughing, crying emojis. The performance was notoriously low energy, and it's likely that Lil Baby was poking fun. When Culture 3 actually did drop, people expected to maybe see a couple disses from Offset if there was actually any beef, but unfortunately, there wasn't really anything. Except from Takeoff, of all people. One line caused some speculation, but it was probably just a throwaway. The inclusion of the word baby had people wondering if it was a diss at Lil Baby in the track. Why not? When Takeoff said, "Call him baby boy cause he got put in a headlock, ha." The bars that really had people thinking, though, were on Modern Day. On this track, Takeoff raps, "If I got a plate, you know that he ate. I'm too blessed, so one thing I can't do is hate. I like what you're doing, just humble yourself and know that we the ones who open the gate." If that's not describing the situation that's going on between the crew and Lil Baby, we don't know what would. But what do y'all think? Is there any real beef in the first place, or did the entire thing get blown completely out of proportion? If it did happen, what's the motivation for Lil Baby? Why would he snap on his label mate like that? Let us know what you think about the whole thing going down below in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get more rap news sent straight into your sub feed. As always, have a great rest of your day. And don't forget to keep it Rizzle.